Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question, and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I am not a therapist, and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. I also talk about various other life renewal topics. Let's go ahead and get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Carly, who is in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Carly says, "My house is a wreck and I'm embarrassed to have anyone over. I'd like to clean it, but have no idea where to start. And I feel overwhelmed by the task. Do you have any advice for how I can get my house back in order?" Thank you, Carly, for that question. And actually, with you asking the question, that is the first step. And that's a brave step to ask someone for their opinion on what you can do to get your house back in order, which is really helping to get your life back in order. When you are approaching a task that is monumental, as cleaning your house is, you have to, of course, know that you're going to start with just one spot, one location, and you choose that location typically. My suggestion always is to start at the back of the house. At least that's how I do it. I start at the back. For you, it may be starting at the front. I start at the back because that motivates me to keep going to get to the living room and the kitchen, which is out in the open where people see it. So you pick a room that you want to start in and you pick one corner, just one corner, and you start working with that corner. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is you still pick a room, and say you pick the bedroom. You want to then start with the clothes. Are the clothes on the floor? Do they need to be hung up? Organize the clothes. Set up different piles. Piles of clothes that you're going to keep, piles you're going to give away. Separate the pants from the dresses, from the skirts, and that sort of thing. And wash things and then hang them up. And then you start with something else. Maybe you start with whatever else is on the floor. Or you want to paint the room. But the point is, you start. But before you start, one of the things that I would suggest is make sure that you get all of the cleaning supplies that you need for that room together and put them in the room. Get yourself some good music that you can listen to, or if there is a series that you want to watch on TV, something that you can just listen to but not watch because you're going to be working, do that. It could be a book on tape. Something that keeps your mind occupied and helps to keep you motivated as you're doing this task. The other thing that you want to do is set aside a certain amount of time a day to work on this project. It can be as little as 30 minutes a day, or if you want to do 2 or 3 hours a day, you can do that. Once you clean one room, honor what you've done there, and then move on to the next room. And you just keep going until you have completed the task. When you get to a certain point with the cleaning, you may want or may feel comfortable asking friends to come over and help you with the remainder. If you don't, that's fine, but it's always nice to enlist the help of other people when you have large tasks. As I said, make sure you get all your cleaning equipment together, get some good music, book on tape, movies, something that you can listen to. Start in one room and just keep working in that room until you complete that room. Pick the amount of time that you're going to spend in there a day. Don't expect to clean the room all in one day or even 2 days. It may take you a week to clean one room. That's okay. Take your time, honor what you've done, and send me a note letting me know how you got on with it. All right. Our topic for the day are the elements. And these are the elements that we use in astrology. The reason it's important is because there's 4 elements and we have all of these elements within us. They serve different functions, but they're related to our personality and how we go about life and how we do things. And I just thought it would be nice to talk to you about the different elements. We have fire, earth, air, and water. In astrology, we look at the different planets and the signs that they're in. Each sign has a particular element that is assigned to it. For example, if you are Scorpio, that's a water element. If you are Gemini, that's an air element. And if you're Leo, then that's going to be a fire element. We're looking at your dominant elements because that's going to say how you go about life, how you actually do things. If you have a preponderance of fire, we know that you're action oriented, that you're going to just charge because fire has no patience. It just burns. And so we know this is part of your personality. There are people who don't have a whole lot of fire in their chart. So it takes a lot more to motivate a person who doesn't have a lot of fire to get things done. Doesn't mean that they can't, but their motivation has to come differently. When we're looking at, if it's fire, of course, it's action oriented, it's unstoppable, doesn't necessarily think before it burns. It creates, it's the first element, just creation. Things are created from fire. So if you want something done, or I know when I want something done, I call my friends who have a preponderance of fire because they're going to come in and just bulldoze through whatever it is I need to do and just get it done. And with the fire element, there are, of course, 3 signs associated with the different elements. So with fire, we're looking at Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. With the earth element, there's 3 signs associated with earth. We are looking at Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. When you want to manifest something, you really do need earth because it's grounding. It's going to take its time. It is methodical. It's patient. And it takes a long time for that earth element to move. But you have to have earth because that is what grounds you. That's what gives you the practicality because earth is the practical element. And then we have water. Water is where our emotions are. It's our intuition. It's what's going to help us to feel. It's that feeling part of us. So the 3 signs associated with water are going to be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And with these particular signs, the emotions run deep. These particular signs, of course, don't forget anything because they have long memories. It's because it's water and how water flows. It's long and it's deep. You have to have the water sign because this is going to give you a particular level of compassion and understanding. And you feel, this is where we get our feelings. And then we, of course, have the air signs. And the air signs are our intellectual signs. It's related to our intellect, the way we communicate. It's related to our thought processes. And there are 3 signs associated with air. We have, of course, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And they're not grounded. They are air. They will spread the word. If you want to get something out into the community or out into the world, you want to communicate a message, you call on an air sign to do it. Now, all of us, as I said, have all 4 of these elements within us, but sometimes we have a little bit less or a little bit more of one element, and maybe sometimes we have a little bit more of one element than we do another element. But we all have all 4 elements that we are working with. So that's the elements. Now, our next question comes from Becky, who is in New York. Becky writes, my work schedule is insane and I don't know what to do about it. I work more than 80 hours a week and frequently take work home in the evenings. I know I'm out of balance, but have no idea how to change the situation. I love the work, but the hours are insane. How can I change the situation? Thank you for asking that question, Becky. One of the first things that you want to do is get clear with yourself on how much you would like to work a week. How many hours would you like to work? How many hours would you like to reduce from your current work schedule? Look at what you're doing, the type of work that you're doing, and how much you can take off of your plate in a day. If you're working 80 hours a week, that means that I'm sure you're working 7 days a week. So it would be good if you could set a parameter of working 5 days a week. Not easy to do, but can be done. One of the things that you need to do is go in and talk to management, to your boss. I'm sure that your bosses are aware that you're working so many hours. And the problem is, once you start doing that, the expectation a lot of times is there from your employer for you to keep doing that. And what's happening is one of the things that you're doing is running yourself down, and you can make yourself ill from working so much, which means that nothing will get done if you're sick. Go to your management and let them know, of course, you're working 80 hours, and you don't have to say that this is unacceptable. You can say that you're unable to sustain this work level. And therefore, you're asking them for their help also in reducing your hours. Come to them with a plan, though, on how you foresee doing this, what you can take off your plate, or what you would like them to add to their plate or add to somebody else's plate. Maybe they need to hire another person. Maybe there are people in your company who are not working 80 hours a week and who can take on more. You know the work that you're doing, and you know hopefully what you can take off of your plate, but you really do need to either take some things off your plate, or at the very least change how you do the work that you do. It may be that you want to get everything done on time or in a timely manner. Well, who determines what a timely manner is? Are there things on your plate that you can put off for another week or two? Look at your workload and see what you can do to take some things off your plate. Set a boundary with yourself and hold yourself to it. If you only want to work 6 days a week or 5 days a week, then that is the boundary that you set. None of us are ever really done with our workday. I mean, we can continue working 24 hours a day and still not get everything done. Because of that, you have to know where your cutoff point is. And you have to know that at the end of the day, you maybe have not gotten everything done, but you've maybe gotten the top 3 things done. Keep a schedule of what it is you need to get done, and put the top 3 items on the schedule that you need to do in a particular day. Once those are done, everything else is gravy. Consider that day a success. Anyway, I hope this helps you, Becky. Please email me and let me know. Send me a note or comment below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you to see how this all turned out. Well, we have come to the end of the questions for this week. If you have questions for me, please send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. To reach out to me for readings or for life coaching, the link will be below in the comment section. I appreciate all of you being here. One other thing, I am hosting a virtual healing retreat, Healing with the Cosmos. This happens on June 18th and 19th. The link is below to the Eventbrite page so that you can get more information about this particular wonderful event. So I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you have a wonderful, joyous rest of the week. Bye-bye.